I am going to be completely honest with you. I'm not in a great place right now.
There you are. You're in an elevator. You're safe.
Yeah. Uh-oh. You hear the footsteps?
Dude.
Hey, I'm in this elevator.
Alright, everybody, and welcome back once again to part 3, probably last part. I'm going to guess this is the last part of our Anemoiapolis Chapter 1 playthrough and commentary track.
Something like that.
Something
Chapter
like
3,
that.
Chapter 1, Part 3, yep.
Chapter 1, Part 3 in the Book of Anemoiapolis. Once again, you are here on Total Pebble Knockdown. I am Nathan.
I am Alex, and wow, that hallway is dark.
Yeah, let me tell you about it. So before we get going, while I'm in the safety of my elevator right now, I just want people to understand where we've come and where we're at right now. So Anemoiapolis, we've been playing it for the last couple sessions. We have played a little bit of golf. We have gone into a perfectly normal locker room that had nothing weird going on. We have had a mannequin slowly move toward us when we weren't looking, very Weeping Angel style. We have gone into movie theaters that had what appears to be broken projectors that go down endless twisty hallways. I think we went through a conference center that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think we've talked quite a bit about that phenomenon. And we found that you can get on top of lockers, obviously. So,
where there are tickets.
Where there are indeed tickets. That was planned. Went down a few slides, got lost on a lazy river. But in general, that has led us here to the final black sign area that was previously not available or even seen in the main menu. Even though until we went through everything else. So we are here. And I am going to be completely honest with you. I'm not in a great place right now.
There you are. You're in an elevator. You're safe.
I'm in the elevator. Watch the elevator collapse under my feet. No, just in general, I want people to understand my baseline right now is I'm not feeling great about this at present. I have kind of, over the last couple of weeks, though, kind of figured out that one of the main mechanics that they play around with is indeed the idea of the mannequin. That there's the mannequin that moves, and then there was at one point like the black silhouette of a mannequin that disappeared on us, and even in that locker room, it looked like they were probably using something like a mannequin model in order to float along the bathroom walls. So I have a feeling that that's kind of like the more interactive model that they're using. So I'm kind of prepared for the idea that there might be mannequin-adjacent stuff in this part. If they're going to do that sort of thing. With all that said, as I try to get the queasy feeling out of my stomach, oh, it's only 10 to go back up? You cannot go back up. Just for the record, you cannot go back up. We are committed. With all that being said, folks, we are going to go through the blackened hallway. Now, the thing that's really interesting here is that there's a lot of ways we can go. Alex, I'm going to have you tell me where am I going here? It looks like we have rooms down there.
You don't want to go that way, apparently, so why don't you go down this way?
This way?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go this way.
There's lights.
There are lights. Okay. There's nothing here, apparently. Perfect. It's going to be
Just a drinking fountain?
There's just a drinking fountain. There's just a bush.
It's a plant.
Okay. So, my initial thought is that this reminds me a little bit of a more worrying version of the conference room we were in.
Okay. That just the elevator already?
Is this an elevator? Wait, fucking what? I mean, I can't use it yet. I'm not going to use it yet, but like...
Did you try to, or...?
I can... You want me to try? I'll try.
No, because
I just
your luck it works and it takes you out of the level already.
It will take me out of the level, or they want me to use it. See, this is the thing. I don't know. I'm going to go this way, and it will probably... Oh, there's an exit sign. Here's an exit sign. Oh.
It'd be so funny, though, if after, like, just that intro and all this trepidation, you just get out of the level right away.
But Alex, look what I have found. I have found...
tile hallway?
No, look at what is at the end of this tile hallway.
It's another elevator.
There's another elevator, and there's exit signs for theoretically other elevators. This is a world of elevators!
So what happens if you push the button in this one, then?
Okay, let's try it.
Because now I'm curious, because there's been two.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going up. But am I actually going up?
I don't know.
I feel like this is not... Okay, let's go. Let's go. Where's it actually taking me? It's not going to just take me back up, is it? Hello? Oh!
Well, that's one way to return.
What?
Well, now you have to go back. Now you have to go back down.
I will go back down, folks. Do not worry. I am going to, no matter how much I'm not loving it, but I'm just going to hit the button. I'm not going to go in. Oh, it will open for me now.
Okay. Well, great. Good. Speed run that level. Game over.
Game over. Yeah. Okay. We're not going to do that, though. I just wanted to see if that actually opens the gate. But we can't have this be 5 seconds of me just going through the thing going, oh, I guess there's an elevator there. So,
yeah.
This is going to be interesting, though. I will, if there's other elevators, we will have to try other elevators, because I'm just starting to wonder.
Kind of imagine that they all go back up.
I guess? This does, like...
Oh, is it like the golf room, where you just kind of don't
it's
have
just
to do
an
anything?
It's just an endless hallway. Okay, we're going to take a different route.
Sure.
We went down this way. We are going to go this way. Alright. I do have to say there is something that just makes me feel... I guess it does make me feel a little bit better that we actually got out of here without it being, like, hugely problematic. But now I'm like, is there actually fucking anything down here?
Is that just a lonely chair sitting there?
It's just a chair. It's just a chair. I'm not even going to go toward the exit signs. Okay.
It's the wall. Ooh, it's so dark when you are standing in the light.
Yeah. What else is here?
More chairs. Water fountains.
Yeah. It feels... There's where a sign used to be. I guess? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go down here. I'm not happy about it, but we are gonna go down here.
This place making you uncomfortable?
I don't like this place at all. I am not happy about this place. And I'm not happy about this place.
Like how there's 2 exit signs going different directions here.
Yeah, there are. Do they loop back on themselves? Maybe they loop back.
Must.
Oh, I guess it does. Yeah, because that's where the exit came out before. And there's a... Is that an exit? Is that an elevator, or is that just a hallway? Oh. That's aggressive lighting. Oh, and there's an elevator. Okay. Is this the hall? This is not the hallway I came down. This is not the hallway... Well, you remember the big vaulted ceiling.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this does not have that. This has the low-lying ceiling that we're looking at. There is... So, the thing I want to say is that this is a very odd area because at one point, it is actually very confusing and twisting in on itself, and at the same time, it also seems very easy to navigate because there seems to be just an elevator around every corner. So this is kind of... I guess it's unsettling, but unsettling in a very different kind of way than, like, many areas would be. Mostly just from the sheer ability that there's kind of like two different dichotomies going on. Also, I think what's really important to note is that it does not appear that there are any tickets.
But so far, yeah. But I don't think you need tickets to go into any more places up there.
No,
so you just have an excess of extra tickets now.
I just have so many tickets.
I know, this place is strange, because, as you said, it's kind of like they want it to be confusing, and, like, it's got a lot going on, but there's not really a lot of variation to it.
No.
It's like a couple open rooms, couple hallways, and then way too many elevators.
Way too many elevators. Also, the thing, like, I'm not going to complain about that, because, I mean, the elevators are kind of comforting at this stage. I'm just wondering if this changes. I'm going to go to the end of the hallway, and I'll come back, and I'll see if the elevator's still there. It's interesting, because it feels like the game has done a very smart thing of priming you to this point that something very, very ominous is happening. And then they get you to this stage where you're expecting it. You know, you have primed yourself to believe that there is something incredibly ominous around you, like it's going to stalk you. And so you have that feeling. Yes.
You were absolutely dreading it.
I don't
at the
like
end of the last one.
I was like, we're good for now, right? We can be done. Because I did not like this feeling. It does enough to kind of shock you into the fact that something is very, very wrong here. The elevator's still there, so apparently this is not changing on me. I'll go to the end of this hallway and see. But in general, I was under the impression that they were gonna, like, pull out all the stops when they get here. You know? And they have not. And maybe that was just kind of to put you into that false sense that there was something different happening because, and this is possibly what's going to happen, I would almost venture to guess it is, the actual piece of this that is going to be more in line with that is what happens afterward, because they want you to feel a little bit more like, oh, so there was nothing here, this was not a thing. That can put you in. It's
easing off the tension to make you feel secure.
Right. Because...
Just so that they can create a bigger spook later.
Right. Maybe this elevator does something different, I don't really know. But...
This elevator eats you.
This elevator is a mimic elevator. We'll go up the elevator and we'll see, but I have a feeling that... I get this nagging sensation that this is one of those, like, fake-out areas.
This is a different elevator, too.
It is a different elevator.
The roof of it is different.
Oh, yeah. No, there's many elevators.
Life
I think
has
it's important.
many elevators, that boy.
Life has many elevators. So, we're gonna go in this elevator. If this goes somewhere else, that would be pretty amazing.
That would be
pretty
ridiculous.
That would be incredible. That we just happen to go up the elevator? No, I guess this is going to the same place. This apparently is going to the same place. Yeah, and it looks like, is it the same elevator?
I think it is.
Oh, okay. Okay. Are the other elevators open? Oh, the other elevators...
Yeah, there's one open over there. And
Yeah.
goes over there. Wait, there's still one closed.
There is still one closed.
But are all the other ones open?
I think
No,
the
there's
other
two
one...
closed.
There are two... Let's see here. There's one closed there. And there is... These two are open. Okay.
Do you have more rooms that you can go in downstairs
No.
then? Because
No, I don't
if
think
each
so.
one of these feels like it was a different room.
Yeah, unless it's that there are multiple elevators for like how many? Okay, hold on. Let me count. There are 6, and let's see here. Which ones have I gone through? 6 areas.
I think so.
Yeah, it's 6 areas. Because let's see here. Let's do a little bit of a count. We went through the recreation area. That was the first place that we came from, so that was 1 elevator. Then we had the conference center, so that's 2. If we go over here, there should be golf, that's 3. Then there was the movie theater, which is 4. There is the Island Adventure, which is 5. And then, yeah, the Black Door of Endless Hallways, which is 6. That's 6. I'll go around the perimeter and see if there's anything else, but
yeah,
maybe...
all the ones you've been through are closed elevators now.
They then default to this, replay this level.
But let's explore in here a little bit.
Yeah,
it's been a hot minute.
Let's explore the space. We're going to explore the mall. Let's go to the mall, everybody. Interesting aesthetic style. I think what's interesting, like we were talking last time about Anemoia and the longing for a past that you never experienced, I believe is what it was referred to.
Pretty much.
What I think is interesting, though, is that this does not really look like an 80s mall. It's not nearly as...
It definitely doesn't.
Color palette's all wrong for that.
Yeah, it's not neon enough.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting to think about here is that this floor, boy, that would be a pain in the ass to wax this.
Yeah, let me tell you, that would be something else. I'm also kind of... aesthetically, what they did to make this really shine is that this elevator, unlike all the elevators, is indeed just a black elevator. It is not like all the other elevators.
One of these things is not like the others.
Yeah, and so it pops up out of nowhere, and then you're like, okay, so what is this? Hold on a second here. One second. I want to check on something. No, okay. I started thinking that maybe the sign was turned around because the backs of the other signs are black, but this is just black on both sides. So I thought that might have been like a little Easter egg. That would have been interesting if you looked on the back and it said something like just made you look or something, which would be
out of character, I think.
It would be. I don't think they would do something quite so silly.
Which one's this one?
This was the conference center.
What?
This is the conference center.
Why is it still open, though?
I don't know. I literally don't know, but it's also the most boring place in the world, so I don't want to go back down.
Does it say replay level when you go into it, or does it just...
It just says descend.
Just descend?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused by that one. Maybe because it's the 0 tickets, so you didn't have to... Maybe.
That's maybe.
I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and I'll go up the elevator, because I have a feeling like that's the actual part of this.
Probably, I would assume.
Yeah. No idea if there's supposed to be something that comes through the... Like, I would have normally said if there were, like, 7 elevators, that maybe there's multiple elevators that go to different ones when you get up here, from, like, that bottom one, but no, it's just the 6 for 6. So, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go to the surface and see what actually happens, because, again, I imagine this does not actually go to the surface. Considering that it's chapter 1.
Well, no, it would definitely go to the surface. That would be the whole point.
Great. Yeah. Alright. So the fake out black hall of death. Maybe there was something that, like, if you explore the right paths, maybe there's something. Yeah. Uh-oh. You hear the footsteps?
Hey.
Dude.
Hey, I'm in this elevator.
Settle down.
Oh.
Over here.
What?
You know, of all the people who went down there, you're the first person to come back out. Unfortunately, your knowledge of this place is a liability.
Oh.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You can't leave just yet. There's a friend of mine still down there. He owes me a few things.
No.
I'll think about opening this elevator when he is in it too. Dead or alive.
What?
Oh, here. Take this. You'll need it.
Going to bottom floor.
What?
You get to kill somebody?
No, they gave me a key card.
Oh.
They gave me a key... They gave me a key card. Oh.
Bath key.
They gave me a staff key. They gave me a staff key.
Now you've been hired.
I've been
Good luck.
hired. I've been hired by the mysterious voice. Okay.
Sounded like she was from Wisconsin.
Yeah, she definitely did. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So now what? Is that it? Oh.
Is that it? Did we just...
Apparently
Is this
that was...
really short?
Apparently that was the end of the, April Fools, everybody, I guess. I guess that was the end. Let me do one thing, though. I'm gonna resume and just see where it actually leaves me. Let's see here. Okay, so that was indeed the ending, where apparently there is somebody down here. And that person who is down here, we need to bring him back. And they have given me a staff key card in order to do so. Which I'm going to guess is where Chapter 2 actually
Would start?
leads. Yes. So the lady in the elevator says that you're the first one to come back up. Which suggests that other people have come down here before. Which suggests that you would see some remnant of them. You know? Like this kind of begs another question, which is that might explain some of the supernatural stuff that's been going on. Like that they're ethereal or something, but one thing that we kind of know about people is that they are messy. And what would normally happen is there'd be refuse around here. There'd be some indicator of people actually being in this space. It is meticulous. There is nothing in these waste baskets. There's nothing on the floor. There's no sponges. This is... you had mentioned, like, what a bear this would be to wax, but it is perfectly waxed. There is...
It would take days to wax all of this floor.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm gonna just make a real quick assumption that the people that end up stuck down here are not voluntarily doing the custodial work to keep this place up. You know?
Probably not. I mean...
I think that would be their like, if my personal experience would be anything, that would be my last priority. Also, I don't see a janitor's closet around here. So...
Honestly, I think it would be really cool to have this right here.
Yeah.
In a different lighting, like have the lights dimmed real low.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the last in that last hallway section you were in.
Yeah.
Have all the lights dimmed like that, have the floors and walls smudged and stained and drag marks across them and things like that.
Yeah.
Like imagine that you came out of that elevator from the surface and it was just in this like the red glow of emergency lighting and all of these smudges everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of thing that is sort of like what happens with like a BioShock or with like a Half-Life, where it's like, here's your facility, things have gone very, very wrong.
Yeah.
And now you're in it. Like, you can imagine, like, what would Bioshock have been like if there were no actual slicers or anything down in Rapture? What would Half-Life have been if you go to Black Mesa and it's far past all of the soldiers and the aliens and stuff being there. You're coming into it after that's all gone. And you're just in the remnants of kind of this dank area that, is just torn up. By it. That would be kind of what I would be expecting for this. I guess the thing that's interesting is, so they give you a security key card and they send you back on down for what I'm going to guess is Chapter 2. If no one has come back up and you're the first one to kind of get that key card, is the only other person that would be down there somebody that actually worked on the project for Anemoiapolis? It feels like the person that she's trying to get back is probably the person who made this place. Like, maybe the architect of this place. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like this level here should have been more comprehensive.
Yeah. We're gonna... I'm gonna go back down here just because we've now seen the ending. So I'm gonna...
The alleged ending, yeah.
Of Chapter 1.
Yeah,
and I know
we
that
both
they're...
assume that that's the ending, so...
Of Chapter 1. But I'm gonna go back down here because I think it's very... Maybe we'll see something we didn't see before. One, I would like to say, wonderfully atmospheric soundtrack. The atmospheric sound design that they did here is... very unnerving. It's almost like a constant brown note for me.
It's the backrooms aesthetic. It's the hum of fluorescent lights.
Yes. Yeah. This does, if intriguingly, there's already an elevator. This is, now that you say that, really the most quintessential backrooms part of the game.
Yeah.
Like, it almost feels like this is the homage to the classic backrooms layout. More than anything. Like, maybe that was the point of this area, was to just be a straightforward backrooms area. I don't honestly know. Oh, am I back in this hallway? No, No, I'm not. No, this is different. This is different because there's an open wall here.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we're gonna go down. Oh, it's getting dark down here. That's never a good sign.
Great sign.
It would have been... Like, I almost shudder to say anything because I feel like the second I do, they're gonna be like, oh, you want that? But it does feel like some of these rooms could have given me some visual storytelling about the actual reason for some of this. Like, for instance, we now know you're not the first person to come down here. So it would have been interesting to see, like, an area like this that kind of, just from, like, again, that Fallout aesthetic of the visual storytelling, environmental storytelling, of something here to explain one of the people that was down here, or what they found, or letters on the wall, sort of like that keep moving sign that we get. Which I'm going to assume was built there by a person who came down here?
Somebody wrote it.
I guess somebody wrote it.
Without the environmental storytelling in this. This is just kind of like, oh, look, it's weird hallways and exit signs, lights, and elevators, and occasionally plants, and occasionally chairs.
Like, the fake out is great. I'm gonna give them that. The fake out is great. Of, like, just giving you this imposing hallway. I think am I in? No, I'm not. This is a different place. But this has those vaulted ceilings, and you sit here and you enter into this place, and you say, oh, having experienced everything that we've experienced prior, this is going to be a bad experience. This is going to be a bad time. And then they take you to this essentially quintessential backrooms area, having experienced everything that you did. And your normal assumption is, oh, this is going to be a bad time. And now this is... it's fair to say now that was... that this is a subversion of that expectation.
Yeah, I would agree. Because they did a good job priming you. We
Yes.
both agree.
Yes,
You were primed for this to be a lot
I did not want to go
than
here.
it was, yeah.
I did not want to go to
I
here.
feel like,
Yes.
though, as much as I love a good subversion of expectations, or just, going, hey, this is what you think it's going to be, but now it's not.
Yeah.
As much as I love that in a lot of things, I think in this one instance here, it didn't play to the strengths.
You know what? This would have really been... My own opinion. I don't want to tell people who make art how to make art, but for me as a person who experiences this, do you know that part in Portal where you stop doing the trials and you get into the skunk works behind the facility? Yeah. You get behind the skunk works, and in those places you see, like, obviously the cake is a lie, which is written, scrawled on something. You're seeing these places where people have camped out in the back rooms, essentially, of the testing facility.
Yeah, the literal back rooms of it.
The literal back rooms. This could have really used some of that to just expand the world building of this, and I think maybe that would have even given me more context when we get to that very end part, where she says, like, you're not the first one to come down there. I would have been able to go back and, like, oh, I remember this thing that I saw in the rooms before that suggested that, yeah, I know some of these people, or that there might have been characters that were here before, and now I have a little bit better idea of who they were. You've kind of primed people for the reveal. And I think the reveal was supposed to basically be, you've got to go back down because I need you to bring somebody to me. And it's like, that's great. It would have been cool just to get some hints in the back of this. And, apologies to the folks who made Anemoiapolis if there are hints here somewhere and I'm just not seeing them.
Just a column in the middle of the back of that room?
Yeah. There's just a column. In the back of the room. The logic of this place doesn't... The math ain't mathin', right? Like, it's that whole thing. Like, the math ain't
quintessential
mathin'.
dungeon design.
Yeah, quintessential dungeon design. Somebody came up with this and said, yeah, good enough. Good enough for government work. We've done it. If this were to be a place, what would we have even used this space for? I don't know. And I guess that's the whole point of, like, a backroom style game, is to talk about, like, that there isn't a logical sense. We talked about that on the first episode, but the idea that it is illogical is the part that's probably the most disturbing for a lot of folks. Because you expect a certain kind of layout and logic and reason and rationale to a layout, to the design of a building, especially for these big commercial buildings, because they want to maximize space and efficiency. This is not efficient at all, or logical use of space. It's just not. And so that, I think, ends up being kind of the psychological liminal horror of it all, is that this just does not make sense in any way, shape, or form. And that's the point. The point is
it doesn't make sense. The point is that it's confusing and strange and unfamiliar feeling.
Yeah, the point is I have this one plant that is in this giant room, and somehow this plant... I'm gonna guess this is probably supposed to be like a fake plant, but, like, you know... Oh man, can you imagine if this was a real plant and somebody had to come water this every day? That would be amazing. Like, I feel like we've gone in a lot of these little areas, and I'm not really seeing much beyond this.
It's very samey.
It's very samey. It's very samey. And you know what? That also is a little disorienting, and there's a tension in disorientation, but generally I'm just like... I'm not being led to a specific spot, or given the idea of going to a specific spot.
Can we talk about this hallway for 1 second? Can you look at the ceiling really quick, if you turn it back around? How
Here?
these lights... Yep. Turn around.
Turn around?
Yeah, thanks. So can we talk about how these lights are actually dead set center in the ceiling here, but the drop ceiling is askew, and it
Yep.
yeah, I hate that.
Yep, I hate that too.
From both a fact that there are rooms like this one that they are, perpendicular and stuff.
Not really, though. You can see that they're offset.
But they look more perpendicular.
Yeah.
They look more correct than that. But then you go here and it's like, all right, well, the lights shouldn't be taking on the spot where the braces are as well.
It's not right.
Look, another elevator.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the one we're going to go up. But, yeah, again, this hallway too. They're not aligned.
I assume
They're
what they
not
did is they probably tiled all of those at the same height across the entirety of the map in this level.
Yeah.
And then went apply and just ran with it.
It is possible, especially because these hallways are probably not square or exactly square. I don't know if that is an on-purpose mistake, or if that just happened to be the way this got tiled in, like, texturing.
I'm gonna go with benefit of the doubt and say it's on purpose to me unsettling.
Yes. I'm gonna say so too. I think that it just falls into that whole illogical design of this place, which is fine. It's fine. Everything's fine, folks.
Everything's fine.
Everything
is
fine.
The kind of thing with this is like, I enjoy like the aesthetics of like liminal spaces or the backroom type of spaces. I think the aesthetics and the type of storytelling you can do with those is really interesting from just an aesthetic standpoint. But like again with this one, it's like this could use environmental storytelling to really heighten a lot of senses and make it feel a lot worse. I want to say not better as in good, as worse as in more dreadful.
Especially because this is, as it has been kind of hyped up to be, the last area of the game before we get into the elevator. This is really a great opportunity to try and take some of the ideas that you've put into the game before and expand upon it. Not saying you have to do jump scares or anything, I'm not suggesting that, but some of the contextual stuff that we did, if you wanted to add some more layers to, like, well, what is going on with the movie theater? Maybe kind of call some of those things back, about the movie theater, about the lazy river, about those things, about what was happening, give a little bit more context, since people have gone through all of those to get to here. Maybe they thought that it would be better to leave that to a chapter 2, to get people, you know what, because there apparently is a chapter 2 coming out, and maybe the thought process was, we want to give people enough to come back for another piece of this to discover what might actually be happening here.
You feel like, having played this now, do you feel like the carrot they're dangling at the end of this stick is enough to make you want to come back for a chapter 2? If it comes out eventually, it's been a couple of years.
I ask myself that really at the end of this, and it's like I do think that it would be interesting to see what the idea of a chapter 2 would be. You know, like, just as a general rule, I think it would be interesting to see what they wanted to do with a chapter 2.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is because, obviously the ending here where they're just like, yeah, this is kind of the thing, a little bit of exposition, but leaving off on this level and then going to that and then nothing. It's like, okay, well, I see what you're putting down, but like, is it enough to actually make me go, what are you doing?
I think that conceptually, this does a really good job at tonality. I think that there's a general atmosphere that they're able to give here. I'm not super involved and engrossed in the story, or just the mystery of it. I'm mostly just getting the idea that somebody is down here, you are not alone, which is a creepy concept. Definitely. The idea that you're just not alone, even though it feels very sparse and remote. I get that. I like that. I think that aesthetically that is really good, kind of like psychological storytelling, more than anything else. I don't know how much I care about who is down here or about finding them. I think that's the problem, is that it feels like at the end of this, you get this almost assignment of something that you are now tasked with doing, which would make Chapter 2 feel very different. I'll go back up here. It would make it feel very different to do a Chapter 2, because a Chapter 2 would now take you from this, I don't really know what's going on, but there are these rooms and I need to get back up to the surface, to a story of, you are now tasked with finding somebody who's down there. So now there is like a different mission that you're on in order to get back up to the surface. It does feel a little less about the bewilderment. I guess that's the thing too. Having gone through that last piece, we'll do it again at the end here, just so that we can recap. What's happening now is that they're kind of giving you this new context at the very end, in a little bit of an expository dump, just toward the very end here, that recontextualizes this, and there is something about the getting lost and trying to figure out what's happening part that is very interesting. But then this happens, where things shut off and you have an actual conversation with another person. The first time I think we've done that in the entirety of this game.
I think
that there's
so.
been another... I like the distant footsteps coming in, though.
Hey, I'm in this elevator.
Settle down.
Yes.
It's weird that you don't have any subtitles for you on that.
Yeah, and you did before.
Yeah.
Back out. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
your knowledge of this place is a liability.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You
Yeah,
can't.
what are you talking about? I don't have any knowledge of this place. I've been trapped down here for a year.
Still down there. He owes me a few things.
There's a friend of mine down there. He owes me a few
when
things.
he's in it too, dead or alive.
Uh,
Oh, here, take this. You'll need it. Going to bottom floor.
take staff keycard. And then you see the sign for Anemoiapolis. Oh! Hey, look at this.
Oh,
On the back
those
wall.
weren't there last time, were they?
I just
you
didn't turn around. But I should have known that that's where the reflection's coming from. So, here you go. And so there you go. We're in the elevator and they do the credit. I like that though.
Yeah,
That's
that is-
cute.
That is pretty
That's-
nice. At
that-
least you got
that's
the
neat.
credits this time.
I got the credits this time. And that's the... I'm just going to turn around. No, nothing else. Okay. Okay. So that's Anemoiapolis, Chapter 1. Who knows if there's ever a Chapter 2. Yeah, I think we've said a lot about the thoughts about the game. Conceptually, I like it. I like the idea of just this empty mall that you're going around. The places that they take you to are suitably thematic like, if you gave me a screenshot from any one of, like this game, I could probably tell you immediately which area it's from. You know, it's very distinct. They do a good job of that. It does have good atmospheric horror going for it. That's really important in this sort of a game. Not a lot of storytelling in terms of, like, until the very end. Like, until the very end, when I get a little bit of an expo dump, which, you know, okay, you know, if you just gave it a little, give me a few little hints as to what's coming. Just reward me for my due diligence of acknowledging things. Like, if I happen to notice something that's a little bit of a clue to what might be going on, that, you know, I get a little bit of a nugget for that, you know. That would have been good. That last area, a very good subversion of expectations, but at the same time, feels like it could have been utilized more.
Maybe not the best way to end your chapter 1.
No. It feels like a low point for the game, especially after everything that we went through in the last areas. That being said, I would like to ask you, having gone through this, what was your favorite area of the game? Just a general artistic standpoint about, like, what they did with it.
You know, honestly, I would say probably the family resort.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that it's that section of the game toyed with a lot of really interesting concepts. The first part where you get lost on the lazy river, very interesting. That second part with the slides in the deep pools, and then that third part with the locker room and the claustrophobia of being in this very dark area that feels much more about the tension of that part. I think that was really interesting, and probably I would actually go one further and say that part probably had the best overall storytelling and world building of the whole game. I think that area probably had the best storytelling and the world building that they were trying to do, because I had to recontextualize a lot of what I had seen before, that they are willing to do a couple little kind of like jump scares and environmental horror elements, but that they were also willing to change layouts and warp things in on themselves and give you false starts, like those slides that you think you can go up but you can't actually go up them. They did a lot with that to really make you think about the game in a different way.
I also like that the slides were actually ones you could use and slide down.
I like that. Yep, I like that. There were a lot of fun slides. If they made one that was in the exterior part and they had like the big water slide park.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's in chapter 2. Who knows? If you ever get chapter 2, maybe there'd be a big water slide park that's like in an exterior glassed-in area or something like that. That would be something. And again, those might be interesting to see used for the same kind of atmosphere. It's got an unsettling quality to it, which is interesting. It is not like a survival game, a horror kind of survival game, nor do I think it was ever supposed to be. It's not as narrative focused as a lot of like the walking sims or the narrative games that you might be used to. It's not a horror game in the way a lot of the backrooms games end up being. But I think it does succeed in its main mission of being a liminal horror game. I think it does it does accomplish its main mission. It does.
Spooked.
It does. Yeah, it does do a better version of that. And I mean, we have played previously some Gary's Mod stuff that deals with liminal spaces. And
for the record, there's a ton of those.
Yeah, and they were okay, but I wasn't really I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't really feeling it. There's enough here where I did. And so, good on them for getting me there. I am glad that they had a few things where you kind of go, huh, what's going on here? But they didn't really do what I think would have completely lost the tone of the game, of like, here's the monster chasing you, which would have been completely out of left field. If they do that in Chapter 2, I don't know what to tell you, man. I think that would kind of lose the substance of what they were trying to do. Don't make it bendy in the ink machine. Don't make it Choo Choo Charlie, folks. Poppy's
Yeah,
Play-
those are just
Playland.
horror games at that point.
It was released in 23. The most relaxing horror game you'll ever play. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. There are moments of relaxation, there are moments that are not. Endless carpeted floors and lonely malls. Escape for your life and enjoy the scenery. Yeah. So, it's been a couple years. The last patch notes came in March of 23. So,
Okay.
there has not been any updates to the game in a couple years. Not really sure what they are going to do. And it's important to note that those last patch notes happened about a week or two after the game officially launched. If I'm reading right now, it's golf ball directional arrow got modified. There was a bug that made objects in the conference room spawn below the level, and they adjusted footstep and head bobble frequency. Those were the last patches that they made to the game.
Okay.
As I'm just looking at some of the patch notes that they left at the end, there's something where they said, added more scary to the dark pool section.
Okay.
I like that. That's fun. That was Anemoiapolis. I hope people enjoyed going through this with us. There may be other ones that are in this kind of genre that we will do with actual commentary going through them in the future. If you like this, you just let us know, and that will give us the idea of doing more of this in future as a little bit of a mixing it up from the normal formula. Until then, though, Alex, if people want to find out more information about Total Pebble Knockdown, where could they go on the internet?
You can go to our website or at totalpebbleKnockdown.com.
That's correct, and from there you can even get to our Patreon page, where we have full episodes of the show and additional stuff that don't make it into the episodes. For Anemoiapolis, these you will see full, unedited, uncut episodes, so that you will be able to see all of the boring stuff in between the interesting pieces, if that interests you. If you want to know how I get from point A to point B in those long sequences between, come and check us out over on Patreon. And you can also find us on Discord. We have a Discord channel. It is a public Discord channel. It's just Total Pebble Knockdown. Come over there and we talk specifically about gaming, tabletop, video, and everything in between. Check us out over there and come into the conversation. Let us know how you feel about Anemoiapolis, if you've played it before, and what your takeaway was in the comments down below the video, or over on Spotify or any of the other podcast apps known to mankind. Rate and review and subscribe over there. And note that, like on Spotify, these will be in video podcast form, because the commentary doesn't work nearly as well if you can't actually see what's going on.
Very true. Very true.
So you can listen along if you'd like, but you might get more context out of actually watching it. Okay, so with that being said, I think that we finally made it out of the mall. We made it out of Anemoiapolis. Well, no, we didn't. Sorry, that's a lie. We did not make it out of Anemoiapolis. We ended up having to go down to the bottom floor, apparently.
Going into the basement.
We're going into the basement, and if there's... what I will say, though, is if they do put out a Chapter 2, and if we're still doing this show by the time they actually release it, I will do a Chapter 2. We can go through Chapter 2.
We'll see how it is.
And we'll see what they do with it. But until that time, thank you for joining us on Total Puppet Knockdown. We will see you on the next one. Goodbye for now, folks.
Bye for now.